Hi guys, yes, good evening. Once again, I'm Prince. I'm Prince from royalq Academy 24. That is our YouTube channel name. If you're new and it's your first time to watch this video, please you subscribe and press the bell icon. And on this channel, we talk more about royalq as a trading robot, royalq as a trading robot. So with this channel, you will be able to know whatever you need to know about royalq, margin call settings, and so on, depositing on Binance, withdrawing on Binance, whatever you need to know about royalq, how to activate, how to share your link, how to everything. But today we would like to pass you through how you can try to distribute your margin calls or margin calls allocation when you need to buy in deep. When you need to buy in deep, I mean when the market is in bear market, you need to buy in deep. So we will show you how to do that, and we keep on showing you in several video here. So if you need to contact me, my WhatsApp, my referral link for royalq if you want to activate or to open up an account, my activation code, they are all in.
What is your income goal, and let me guide. Okay, now you can decide to join royalq as a passive trader. You can decide to join royalq as a solo trader. Now I'll base on these two to go into our call for today as we start the new week. Now, depending on which type of trader you are, you need to have two directions of the market. When the market will be going up and when the market will be going down. Now, the ability to benefit from the market depends on your principal or your capital, but most perfectly your settings make more sense. Now let's go into the settings of royalq. All right. Now, before you go into the settings of royalq, ladies and gentlemen, and pick up a trade, let's first pick one trade. I will use BTC. All right. Let me pick BTC, Bitcoin, for example. Okay. Now, the most important thing here, we have the position amount, which is the amount of money you have invested, the average price. Now, what makes your trade to sell is when the current price is above the average price, depending on the percentage of take profit you set. Now, I'll skip everything and I'll basically go into the trade settings, and this is where the magic is. Now, there are so many important issues we need to look at. The first buying amount. The minimum first buying amount is $15. Now, if you're a passive trader, you want to determine the first buying amount is 15. That never changes. It's the minimum. And you want to use the minimum to keep trading. Now, there are two important things. There is when we say your trade is stuck. Now, when does your trade get stuck? Let's also get there. Well, this is how your trade gets stuck. Okay, let's return. Let's go to news. Okay, this is how your trade gets stuck. Now, your trade gets stuck when, let me just go up here. When the robot tells you that Binance YFI USDT failed to cover short position due insufficient exchange balance and has stopped opening short position. If you need to reopen short position, please go to the strategy details and open margin calls. Now, when there is no more USDT for a robot to keep buying deep of this particular coin, that's when we say your trade is stuck. But if it is in floating loss, okay, and is still buying and selling, your robot can still make money for you. Now, how does that happen? Okay, let's pick up this pair BTC. All right, here is the pair. Now, basically, go to the trade setting. The minimum is 15. Now, the margin calls. Now, how do you tell the number of margin calls? Now you have your principal, which is your capital. Let's get to a calculator just a little bit. Okay, your principal or your capital. Let me say your capital is 500. Now, 500 divided by the first buying amount, which is 15, gives you the number of margin calls, which says the margin calls will be 33. The number of margin calls will be 33. Now, 33, still, if we multiply this by 15, will be 495, right? But we are going to see how we can maneuver this. Okay, now, the minimum margin calls we can have here, the minimum margin calls here are 33. These are the minimum, right? And now, the whole position take profit. The market rises by 1.3, tries to fall down by 0.1. Now, some people put a 0, which means the market will rise by 1.3 and it will not wait for any callback. If it gives 1.3, it will immediately sell. But others prefer having in a callback to give a benefit of doubt to your robot. But it's up to you. You may decide to say, I strictly need 1.3, but if the market has momentum, still the robot can give you more than that. Now, the margin call configuration is how deep you want to buy. Now, after determining the number of margin calls which you have done, that your number of margin calls should be 33. Now, the other important aspect is to use the minimum buying power. Now, the minimum buying power is not $15. It is 0.67. Now, how do you get the 0.67? Because we are going to be buying on a cycle. If we get 15 times 1 is 15. What about if we get 15 times 0.69, it is 10.33. What about 0.66? It's 9.9. 0.67. This is the minimum purchase we can use. And the minimum purchase, because we are going to be buying on a cycle, it means we are buying more coins whenever the market falls by a certain percentage, 33 times deep. So I want to reduce on this to create more margin calls, so that we can create more margin calls, right? Now it means if we buy 33 times, this is 10. This is 10 times, 10 times. This is only 10 times, 10 times. Okay, now we know that this is 10 times. Let's get back to the calculator. Okay, now remember we have 33 times 10.05, which is 310. We still have more capital to joke with, because if we subtract this from 500, we still have $168. You see that? $168, we can add on our number of margin calls now. So if we divide this by 10.05, we still have 16 times to go. So now we had put on the 33. Now we are going to get 33 plus 16, which is giving us close to 49 times. Now 49 times, we shall be removing one time, which is $15. So we shall now increase this, where we had put 33, we go back and now increase it a little bit, because now for us we're using less money, and put this 48. Okay, that's how you determine this. Now, how you want to buy, you ask yourself. This is a very, very important question. That the Bitcoin, how deep do I want Bitcoin to go? How deep do I want my Bitcoin to prepare myself? Now you say, okay, that, okay, the current price of the Bitcoin is 21,000. Now 21,000 minus, let me say 50%. it means you are preparing yourself until the Bitcoin goes at $10,000, or you say 80% at 42,000. Now we look at 80 and 50% depending on the weekly time frame, meaning throughout the week this coin can go up to 80% deep. It can't exceed that. Now you set your margin calls and say, my margin call configuration, here the multiple buying ratio is going to be 0.67. I hope that one you know where it has come from. 0.67. This is going to be consistent. 0.67. This is going to be consistent. 0.67. And your coin will never get stuck because you are prepared. This will be throughout 0.67. Now, here on the margin call drop, you want your robot to be buying 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. This is 1%, 1%, 1%. This is still, this is all is 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, up to 48 times. It means this will be only 48% deep. But you want 80% deep. So you are going to say, okay, from number, let me say up to number 30. Let me say up to number 41. This will be 1%. But from number 40, 42, okay, you want to do 6%. You want the rest of the big percentage to be here, because if we get 42 minus 48 is 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 plus 40 plus 41. Okay, so 36 plus 41 is 77. So this you can also increase more and have 7 times, because we had calculated for 6 times. So 7 times 6 is 42. 42 plus 41, which is 83, and you are good to go. So you come back here and move from number. This will be 6%. This will be 6%. This will be 6%. So you put 6% here. 6%. 6%. 6%. So now this will be 6% throughout up to 48 times. So this one is already 0.67. Now here, your robot will never get stuck. So there should be a difference, all right? There should be a difference, ladies and gentlemen, for you to understand the meaning of the robot getting stuck, or that's very, very important. The robot getting stuck and having floating loss, because you can still be making money amidst floating loss. 0.67, 0.67, 0.67. Okay. Now, here you have catered the margin call drop. This is 83%. Then the number of capital here, you have been able to care for, here down here, you have cared up to good capital. You have cared for your capital. You have used your $500 very well. So you have $500 to help you trade BTC. Then the same settings can work. $500 to trade Ethereum, $500 to trade BNB. And so it is very, very important for you to know how to do this, because as long as you can have your margin calls, how deep do you want to go? This will work for you. Then the buy-in callback, you want your robot to buy very fast, 0.1%. Then you come here in distributed take profit allocation, you say from number 5 up to exactly number 41, you are taking 1%. But these ones you can change. You can say from here you want to take 2%. The market falls down up to 50% deep, 80% deep. Here you want to take 2%. And you keep on putting here 2%, 2%, 2%, up to number 40. You put here 2%, you put here your 2%. There's no magic. 2%. And here you are done. Here you just need to put 2%. And you confirm. So it's a cycle now. This is not a one shot. So you save this and you start your trade. So you know very well from the Bitcoin, it moves from 21,000 up to when to get 4,200. You are set. You are safe. So this is where you are trading. You are becoming what? What do we call this type of a person? You are the passive trader. And your trade will never get stuck. So if you have another coin you want to trade on a cycle, you go on. So if your trade is stuck and you want to buy this coin deep, a very important question. Your first buy amount is 15. How deep do you want to buy this particular coin? By what percentage from the current price it has right now? And if you prepare yourself for the deep, so when the market gets bullish, you'll be enjoying so much. But now in the market still going down, you'll be able to protect yourself and your trades will never get stuck. You will always be making continuous profit because there is buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. royalq is not responsible for the market. But if you set your margin calls right, take away your greed, take little profit and allow your robot to have this continuous, regular, repeated buying and selling, you can always make profit. So what determines the profitability in this type of trade? The increase of the first buying amount. The increase is his first buying amount is 15 and Julia's first buying amount is 30 and the other one is 50, the other is 100. That changes the results. But if this happens with proper settings, ladies and gentlemen, you have proper guarantee of profit. Thank you so much for watching this, because this is basically for people who are trading for the cycle. Now, those of you that are trading with the one shot and you have analyzed the coin, also look at the other side. Okay, you say I'm trading, let me say LEET, and I want to trade LEET from its current price to 22% dip. That's important. So you set your margin calls and prepare for both sides of the market. Thank you so much for watching this.